Hello, good morning. Gary Champion, psychic medium with an early morning video. I wasn't looking to make a video this morning. I wasn't looking to make a video in the next week. I think I've made 40 million of them in the last couple of months. But this one was real obvious. Someone said proactive. I was just sitting here turning the computer on, getting ready to type on a book. And someone said proactive, and I thought, okay, well, what does that mean? I know what it means, but what, in the context of the world, what does that mean? And then, as with the other side, if you give them time, then they spell it out. And it's proactive support groups. What does that mean? Again, I get the words. What are they talking about? Well, they're talking about what I was thinking about. It's usually how it goes. If you out there trying to become a medium or think you are one, or actually I'm working as a medium, you don't get big sentences. You get a phrase. Or in my case, they play a movie that will have that scene in it that I need to do, or I see pictures. I hear songs because I was a musician for a long period of time. And it's easier for them to trigger a video to play in your head if you've seen it, which is, I think, why I watched so many movies as a kid, because they'll play a segment of a movie. I can't remember the movie, but I can see it. So all these things are stored in your brain. They're not playing it for me. They're just triggering it in my brain as a memory, something that I saw years ago. Or they've been playing a song. They're not actually playing that song. They don't have a little violin on the other side or a record player. Let's drop the needle on Gary and see what happens. They're triggering a memory that I have of hearing that song. And it comes through just like the day that I heard it. It sounds like it's in the room. And sometimes I look around to see where it's coming from. Proactive support groups. Well, what I was thinking about this morning was that at the end of this month, they say 12 million people are going to be losing their unemployment benefits. 12 million people, not 12,000. Million. 12 million people. That's a lot of zeros with a 12 in front of it. And the federal government is going to come to an agreement on paying stuff, but it's going to kind of be too late. And so they're saying painful. It's going to be painful. It won't be quick enough and it won't be enough. So who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? Support groups, and of which there are many in this country. I don't know anything about other countries. I'm sure they have them too. They've had almost a year to prepare for this. People are starving now in some countries. There isn't enough food for them. So you'll see these foreign countries who have run out of food begin to buy from us or any country that'll sell it to them. And even though they hate that country that they're buying grain from, or whatever they're buying, fruit or whatever it is, they're going to back off of hating them long enough to buy food from them. Now, of course, some of these countries their currency is valueless. Outside of their own country, it's not valued. Which is why the dollar still continues to be top dog as far as stability in the world, money. Our money is in many, many countries, and they use it rather than use their own because it has value. Washington's, Benjamin's, Jackson's count. Proactive support groups is going to pull us out of this. That's why I think that if you're in a proactive group and you're on the ground, you're distributing food and housing and clothing for people, you need to get the shot right out of the bag. Be the first groups with it. Because some of the places you're going to be helping, it's everywhere. What's everywhere? COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. The big papadula, you name it anything you want. So these are our first line troops. Yes, our troops need it too. The actual troops carry the guns and watch the skies, and I don't think anybody's in any shape to attack us right now. We're in no danger from being attacked by another country right now. Why? Because they're all weak. You're not going to attack a country you need to buy wheat from. So proactive support groups need to get the shot first. And there is some kind of a rallying cry going on out there, drawing these people closer to each other, organizing, taking donations, which seeing a film, which is why part of our shelves will be empty of certain kinds of foods and things. It's not that I was in the store the other day and there was a husband and wife. Well, it could have been anybody. It could have been boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. But they passed by the toilet paper aisle and it's kind of empty again. And they looked down there and he said, "You think we should get some?" She said, "Oh yeah." And they did. And then they saw the price and they complained. It's like $8 or something. I forget what they said. It was a big bundle. They said $8. Yeah. But he hasn't bought toilet paper in a long time, or his wife buys it because it is expensive. It always has been, sort of. It's not the Montgomery Ward catalog hanging in the outhouse out back. So there's going to be a groundswell of support groups getting together and banding together to save America, or China, or Russia, or India, or any other country, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, Italy. It can't all come from the government. The government's not going to do it. Why? Because they're assholes. Oh, wait, back up. Controlling assholes. Our two houses of our Congress dislike each other so much they'd rather see somebody starve than do something. I'm not telling you anything new. Don't boo me. This is why we don't have a relief bill, which is why we're pulling out of things around the world. It's why we're hurting people in our own country, is because controlling assholes have control of our country. And the sooner the better that they go, the sooner we can get around, back to doing what we do best. We're a nation that cares. So these ground proactive support groups, I wrote it down. And I wrote it down in pencil, the first part, because all I got was proactive, and that's all I could find. I had a pencil out. I'd done something with my ink pen. I know I was mailing. Here's a good place for a thank you. Thank you guys, because you purchased some of my rings and I've been shipping them out, and that's why my ink pen was over there and not over here where it normally is. And so I wrote the first part, proactive. That's that. And I kind of figured out what that meant, but I wasn't really sure. And I walked in the other room and said something to my wife. And then as I came back and I started to sit down, I heard support groups, proactive support groups. So often, I've been doing this a long time, over 60 years. Even I lack the patience to hear the full message. So right in the middle of them telling me something, I wrote down with a pencil. And then I looked for an ink pen. I found an ink pen. Said something to my wife, came back in, and so it's in two different. I'd show it to you, but there's a lot of notes on here you really don't want to see. So proactive support groups will pull us out of this slump, make people better, keep people fed, give them a blanket, warm clothes, because even in the South, we're heading into the winter. So don't be surprised when you see trucks and cars down in a section of town where a lot of homeless hang, handing out things, handing out blankets, a cup of soup, a pair of shoes, whatever they can do. Isn't it amazing that the support groups in our country are now frontline troops? That was good. We're in a war of attrition. Isn't that interesting? A war of attrition. I heard that straight from the other side. I don't say words like that. We're in a war of attrition. How many people can we save? These guys have been doing it for a long time, so they're very good at it. And they wear their hearts on their sleeves. I used to didn't know what that meant. I heard it as a child. Oh, he wears his heart on his sleeve. You can see just what he's thinking, and that's what it means, that you can actually see the heart that's in them through their eyes and their actions. They're not getting paid to do it. They're doing it because they have the time and the interest and they care. So our second line troops, which in this country would be the National Guard, first line troops would be our main troops that are got boots and guns and ready to go and trained and ready to go. Backup is that. These are our first line troops right now. Hospital staff, many who have died. Doctors, nurses, people who drive the ambulances, people who clean the buildings, anyone, delivery people. They didn't want me to forget delivery people. That nice. Anybody connected with, they have to deliver the garments and the shot needles and all the paraphernalia that doctors use to save people. They're all at risk. They should get the shot first, because we don't have troops that are in a shooting war. We're in a war of attrition of our own people. These guys are good at it. They've been doing it a long time, but now it's like overwhelming them. So thanks to you guys who do this kind of work. I appreciate it. And I hope we win this war. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.